Hello and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. My name is Sensei and we are here today to talk about quite a few things. The main thing being the XRP ETF chaos unfolding right now. ETFs being approved, then seconds later being denied. I've also know exactly when the XRP ETFs are going to be coming out. I've got a very good idea. Maybe I don't know exactly which date, but I'm pretty sure I know exactly which month they're going to be approved. So in this live stream, or if you're watching later as a video, we will be exploring all of these possibilities. I'll be giving you my thoughts and opinions. We've also got FLR really starting to pump today. This is one that we looked at we've been looking at it for a good year or so, but over the last few weeks, when FLR was about 17 cents, we've been exploring the idea of FLR being one of those top altcoins that will outperform the market. And on a day where most things are red, down 5%, FLR is up 10%. From those areas is up almost 57%. So it's very good to see that FLR is finally waking up and is pumping. It is a much smaller altcoin, about a $2 billion valuation. It's a little bit it's not the smallest altcoin. It's not in the millions, it's 2 billion, so it is not a micro cap. It's not something that can do 1,000x this cycle or potentially even 100x this cycle. I don't think that's possible. However, I do see this going to potentially a 10x this cycle, even from the levels we're at right now. So that is exciting to see it pumping. If we go over to a 4-hour time frame, you can see that it won't stop going up. It's broken its resistance at 2.5 cents. I don't think there's much in its way until maybe 3 cents or potentially 4 cents. But the main target for FLR in this if this move continues for the altcoins, is potentially up to 5 cents. So a long way left for FLR. So I'm not overly excited, but it's good to see it already up 56% in just a few days / a week or two. So its sister token Songbird is also up 7% as well. They normally go hand in hand. We've got Bitcoin down on the day, down 1.2%, still consolidating. I'm not too worried about this at all. In fact, I'm quite bullish around how Bitcoin is consolidating, staying above 16,000. Which is that level of support I said we're going to retest and probably break, come down, test, go sideways, let the altcoins run, exactly what's been going on before Bitcoin goes on its next move up. And as long as it's holding the $116,000 level, it's crazy to say $116,000. I mean, just a few years ago, we were talking about Bitcoin at $16,000. Anyway, as long as it holds $116,000, I do think we'll be getting that next pump by Bitcoin up to 130,000, 125,000. That will correspond, in my opinion, in a bounce in Bitcoin dominance. That bounce in Bitcoin dominance will potentially put in a lower high on the general Bitcoin dominance chart, and then potentially start signaling a potential altcoin season. Right now, obviously, we are coming very close to that 60% mark, which is going to act as support, in my opinion. When Bitcoin dominance goes up, it means Bitcoin is outperforming the market. More of the cryptocurrency market cap is flowing into Bitcoin. There's a few ways that can happen. One would be Bitcoin outperforms altcoins on the way up. So Bitcoin goes up, altcoins don't go up as much. Another way would be altcoins go sideways, Bitcoin goes up. Another way would be Bitcoin goes down, but altcoins go down even more. All of those will sort of send Bitcoin dominance up, and that's what I'm expecting. One of those three options, probably Bitcoin going up and altcoins not going up as much. To get a bounce on Bitcoin dominance, potentially, obviously we are very oversold on Bitcoin dominance, like not just normal oversold, but very sort of oversold on the 3-day time frame. If you go to daily time frame as well, we've not been this oversold. I mean, Bitcoin dominance went to 11 the last time that happened. God, you'd have to go back to 2020. So I am expecting a bounce in Bitcoin dominance, and it's already unfolding. This is something we've explored as well. But we did call the top of Bitcoin dominance at 65%. Then we said there will be an altcoin run while Bitcoin dominance falls down to its targets, and it got close enough, about 60.4%. The target was around those levels, 60%. So I am expecting at least a bounce from Bitcoin dominance. We've hit the target, plus the RSI was severely oversold, not just oversold, but the most oversold since 2020. So I am expecting a bounce in Bitcoin dominance that could result in Bitcoin going up and the altcoins not going up as much, or Bitcoin going down and altcoins going down much more than Bitcoin, which is what's happening today. Bitcoin is down, altcoins are down more, Bitcoin dominance is up. Potential scenarios for Bitcoin dominance would be a bounce from here and then putting in a lower high and then coming in and breaking 60%, or putting in a lower high over here, or even potentially making a higher high and then coming down. We don't know yet. All I know is probably Bitcoin is going to outperform the altcoin market once again, which is obviously not great news for the altcoin holders. I assume most people here hold altcoins more than Bitcoin, or don't even hold Bitcoin. So that's what I think is going to happen. And we're seeing it unfold with the altcoins down and Bitcoin down, but altcoins down more than Bitcoin. Remember, a more of a long-term view, what I'm thinking this cycle, how it will play out, is we'll eventually get a collapse of this mega uptrend for Bitcoin dominance, which we've been talking about for a long time. This uptrend is what we've expected. We had the Wyckoff accumulation. We said Bitcoin's the token to be holding throughout the bear market. Of course, I was accumulating XRP as well, but I wasn't worried about altcoins at all, because their time would come. I started buying altcoins in November of 24 before that collapse of Bitcoin dominance. That's when XRP really started going up, along with some other altcoins. Then we looked at 65% as potentially the same thing unfolding. And again, XRP broke from $2 up to all-time highs with this collapse in Bitcoin dominance. So the longer term view at the end of the cycle is normally what we expect is about 2 weeks to 2 months of an altcoin season. That normally comes when rates are coming down, quantitative easing is coming out, no more tightening, all that sort of stuff. So that hasn't happened yet. And the issue is that the labour market's strong. There's no need to cut these interest rates at the moment. So that's my thoughts. I think at some point Bitcoin dominance will break. Bitcoin will probably still go up 130,000, 140,000, potentially hit 200,000. But at some point, this really strong uptrend for Bitcoin dominance will break. 60% will break, 55% will break, and we'll probably come back into a range of 48% or even as low as 43%. And that's when we get those final 2 weeks/2 months of altcoin madness. If it does happen, again, nothing is guaranteed. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice. This is my thoughts and opinions only. Please do not buy or sell based on anything I say. Martyn is saying, glad to hear this. I've been accumulating Bitcoin now, $3,300. We love to hear it, Martyn. XRP, $2,300. Don't get confused. When Martyn says that, it's not saying XRP is going to $2,300. He's saying he owns $2,300 of XRP. Just want to make that clear. Okay, so let me get into the ETF news as well. All in this morning's issue of the newsletter. If we go over here, remember, you can go on the web, you can go and see the most recent stories. If you missed a specific story, for example, you missed the Block, the company Block, we'll get into that story in a second, but if you missed that from Monday's newsletter, Block is entering the S&P 500, another crypto company. You can go and check them out. You can see Powell, all these sort of stuff. That Evtol newsletter from Saturday, it's all on the website, and not only is it just those 5, you can go back and see all the posts. But in today's article, what we looked at, let me just make sure that's all okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it's all going a bit weird with this XRP ETF news. I think I know when it's going to be released, but we did get an ETF approved, then denied yesterday. So what am I talking about? The SEC gives and takes back green light for Bitwiser's 10 asset crypto ETF. They approved it. then they took it back. Let me tell you what that means. On July the 22nd, yesterday, the SEC Division of Trading and Markets granted accelerated approval for Bitwise to convert its 1.68 billion Bitwise 10 crypto index ETF, crypto index fund, ticker BitW, into a spot ETF. They got the green light, and that holds XRP, if anyone was wondering. The fund currently allocates approximately 90% of its assets to Bitcoin and Ether, with the remaining 10% spread across XRP, Solana, Cardano, and 5 other large caps. This conversion, if completed, would deliver the first US diversified crypto index ETF, offering investors one-click exposure to a curated basket of digital assets without complexity of managing multiple individual tokens. Amazing. I love it. A crypto ETF. Get exposure to crypto within your stock portfolio, within a very easy way to do it, a very safe way to do it. You pay a little bit of a fee. Nothing wrong with that, but you get exposure to mainly Bitcoin and ETF, then XRP, I think was around 5%, and then some other altcoins. Of course, I would rather have an XRP ETF because that's the coin I'm most bullish on, but if you're just a normal everyday investor, nothing wrong with diversifying and just being exposed to crypto in general. And this is what this ETF would have done. But just hours after initial approval, SEC Assistant Secretary Sherry R. Hayward invoked Rule 431 to stay the order, sending the decision to full commission for further review and freezing the conversion process. The move closely mirrors the regulators' recent about face on Grayscale's attempt to launch a multi-asset crypto ETF. We saw that 2 weeks ago. Remember, we were all excited. First XRP spot ETF, it held XRP, but they did the exact same thing. So signaling ongoing hesitation around market structure and regulatory oversight, with the final determination could arrive as early as 31st of July. The SEC has not set a fixed deadline, leaving BitW's conversion in regulatory limbo. I sort of expected this. I didn't really expect it once they approved it to then deny it, but I did expect that the fact that there's 9 or 8 of these tokens that will be in these ETFs are not individually trading as spot ETFs yet, it would make it a bit strange that they will be allowed to trade as a whole. So I don't understand why they approve it then deny it, but this is the letter from the SEC. This letter is to notify you that the pursuant of Rule 431 of the Commission's Rule of Practice, the Commission will review the delegated action in accordance with Rule 431, the July 22nd order is stayed until Commission orders otherwise. So we don't have a date. They've just said, look, new SEC, but the same old SEC, in my opinion. I've seen a fair amount to say the SEC has changed, but they're also not really changed their stance on ETFs too much. Let me see some of these comments. I'm acquiring for future giveaways. Yes, Martyn is buying some crypto for future giveaways. As well as the $1,000 XRP giveaway that is happening right now as well. I'll acquire more XRP if it pulls back. Crypto is not just under 2% of entire portfolio. Total portfolio 260,000. Perfect. That is great to hear. Thank you for keeping us updated with that, Martyn. Always transparent. The VIX is sitting underneath 16. Let me go back to the story over here. So that's happened. Approved, denied, SEC's same old SEC in one way or another. I would expect to see some more ETFs be approved until we start getting this basket of ETFs approved, and I think I know when the XRP ETF is going to be approved. So let me bring you down to this story here. Future ETFs, the first domino falls. The SEC's recent approval of multiple XRP futures ETFs, including ProShares Ultra XRP ETF on July the 18th, 2025, marks a milestone for XRP's institutional recognition. This is following the Bitcoin's ETF playbook, where futures approvals laid the groundwork for spot ETFs by providing regulated price discovery and boosting market surveillance. I can't believe you guys can hear the rooster. I love it. I don't know if I like it or I don't like it. Let me know. Shall I try and get rid of the rooster noises, or do you like them? So brilliant. Step 1 done. And they'll probably still keep coming in. Futures ETFs for XRP. That's what we saw for Bitcoin. That's what we saw for ETH. And now we're seeing it for XRP. Before Bitcoin's spot ETF got approved, January of 2024, we had all the futures ETFs being approved. Before Ethereum spot ETF got approved, we had all the futures ETFs being approved. Now we've got step 1 done. The first domino falls. XRP, there is futures ETFs, there's leveraged ETFs, they're all out, they're all about, they're probably going to keep coming out. But that is step 1. Rooster ETF. No, we love the rooster. Brilliant. Spot ETF, we need a mug with Sensei with rooster on mug. Yeah, I don't think. Spot ETF filings enter final stretch. Major issuers, Grayscale, Bitwise, Wisdom Tree, 21 shares, Canary Capital, CoinShares, Franklin Templeton are all racing towards final SEC decisions, with October the 18th to 25th set at the critical deadline window. With Bitcoin, Ethereum spot ETFs already live, analysts now peg XRP spot approval odds at 95 to 98% by the end of the year. And I've said second half of this year, I'm about 100% sure we're going to get an XRP spot ETF by the end of this year. Now, when do I think that's going to happen? With all my thoughts and opinions, it can happen at any time. However, the most likely scenario, in my opinion, is we get the ETFs approved in October. Why? Because when we saw the Bitcoin ETFs get approved and the Ethereum ETFs get approved, we saw a bundle of ETFs get approved, so no one really had an advantage in terms of the issuers. And what we've got going on here, I've created this table for you guys. Grayscale, 21 shares, Bitwise, Canary Capital, Wisdom Tree, CoinShares, Franklin Templeton. All of their deadlines are in a 1 week window from the 18th of October to the 25th of October. And I'm not talking about those little mini deadlines that come up here and there where the SEC can either approve, deny or extend. This 245 deadline is from the initial SEC acknowledgement, and the SEC has to make a decision whether to approve or deny. My thoughts is they're going to go for the approve option. If they've got all 3 options, they're probably going to go for the delay option. But on the 245 day from the initial SEC acknowledgement, they get to only have 2 options: approve or deny. Approve or deny. I think they're going to approve, and the fact that they're also clustered together, I think it's going to be approve, 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 and we'll have 7 or 8 spot ETFs approved within a week. And that comes down to October the 18th to October the 25th. That is my thoughts. That is what I think. October is when we get the approval. Right now, we do have a poll running in the chat. Let me see if I can bring it up here. Why can't I see the poll? Let me refresh this. For some reason, I can't see the poll. It's probably because I've already voted in it. Let me go over here, and I'll just look at it on my other screen. When we get this spot ETF approved, 44% of you say July, August, 28% of you say September, October, 11% November, December, 17% 2026. So I don't think it's going to be July, August. It can be. They can approve it a little bit early. But I think they're going to wait until the very last second. The way I've seen the SEC moving in terms of the ETFs, the way that they approve and then deny these 2 times now with the top 10 crypto ETFs, I don't think they're in a mood to just approve because they're the new SEC. I think they need a strong approve or deny situation, which is this 245-day deadline. So October 18th to 25. We're now coming up to, so we're in July, August, September, October. So 3 months away. How does that line up with our thoughts on the charts? Well, I don't think XRP is just going to moon from here. I don't think we're going to just moon. I think we might go to $4, $4.50, then maybe come back down. I think we're waiting for that ETF to get approved before we go to maybe my target of $10. So I would say I would be cautious. I wouldn't be going all in right now. Again, this is my thoughts. I'm giving you my opinions and what I would be doing. I think Bitcoin is probably going to go down, sideways, up in the next 3 months. So I don't think we're going to see any major action within the next couple months. Maybe we'll get a few days of downwards action, a few days of sideways action, a few days where we get really excited and it goes up. But I don't think we'll get any major moves on XRP breaking $4, $5 until we get those ETFs approved, or until we get close. Remember, that build up is pretty strong as well. So right now we're 3 months away. The news will probably happen a month before. So then we're looking at September. To get ahead of that, you're probably looking at the beginning of September, where you can start seeing the rise occurring. So I don't know what's going to happen over the next month. Over the next month, it can be volatile. I think Bitcoin dominance will go up. Potentially, Bitcoin will move over to its next targets of 125 to 130,000, possibly all the way up to 150,000. Then the XRP ETFs get approved, and then XRP goes on its run, and then we get the full altcoin season in October. And then in 2026, we're in a bear market. That's my thoughts at the moment. I've always said that by Q2 of 2026, I'd imagine we're in a bear market. So everything needs to happen in this time span. And I'm just thinking on the spot here. It's very hard to say. All I know is October, XRP ETFs will probably get approved. I'm about 100% sure they get approved this year. Most likely, in my opinion, October. I've given you the exact dates. Most likely October 18th to the 25th. So let's get clear what we know. XRP ETF will get approved this year. It's probably going to be October the 18th to October the 25th. By Q2 of 2026, I expect we're going to be in a bear market if we're following the cycles. Yes, the cycle is a little bit extended to the right, but it still makes sense for us to be in a bear market by Q2 of 26. So between now and then, we need XRP to go to $10 and Bitcoin to hit its next targets of potentially 150 and 200,000. So when does that all play out? Well, I expect that XRP will start trending up at the beginning of September, on its way to $10 once we get ETF approval. I expect there to be a sell the news event once they get approved on the day, and then a little bit higher, and then we get altcoin season. So between now and September, in all honesty, I have no idea what's going to happen. As long as we hold 116,000 for Bitcoin, I expect us to go higher on Bitcoin, 125 to 130,000. I do expect Bitcoin dominance to have a bounce at these levels, so it does make sense for Bitcoin to go up to these levels and altcoins not to outperform. If we look at this chart over here as well, this sort of tells us altcoin season when and where. This is total 3, which is the total market cap of the crypto market, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And what I've done is also minus USDT, which is quite the largest stablecoin. Get rid of that as well. And then I've divided it by Bitcoin. Previously, we've seen altcoin seasons at around 0.25, 0.25, 0.25 valuation against Bitcoin. So we are still in a downtrend, maybe one more push down on this chart, which will result in obviously Bitcoin outperforming the altcoins. And then we start looking at that. Remember, altcoin season is 2 weeks to 2 months, and that happens fast. And it's not going to happen again and again. It's only going to happen once. So I think that will happen in September, October, and maybe October, November. But I think by 2026, this will be over and done with. And that's based on that new data we have on the deadlines of the 245-day, the way that the SEC has been treating the altcoin ETFs, all that sort of stuff. So let me go to your comments. I was sort of thinking on the spot there, so let me know what your thoughts and opinions are. We can see the altcoins are down today quite badly, 5-6% on average on these altcoins. Even XRP is down 3% right now. As long as that holds its previous all-time highs, I'll be pretty mega bullish, but I suspect it's probably not going to hold its all-time highs. I'm a little bit bearish on the altcoins right now. in all honesty. I'm a little bit bearish on altcoins. I'm bullish on Bitcoin right now. I do think Bitcoin is going to start outperforming these altcoins once again. I don't think we're in full-blown altcoin season once again. Remember, why is my views changing? Well, I was ultra bullish on the altcoins up here at 65%. But the altcoins have massively outperformed Bitcoin over the last 18 days, with Bitcoin dominance falling 7.8%. That's quite a large fall. And just like we saw back in November of 2024, when we had that big altcoin push, we hit our target, Bitcoin dominance came down, and then it went on a multi-month continuation higher for Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin outperformed the market for a good few months. I'm not saying that's going to happen again. I'm saying Bitcoin's probably going to outperform the market for a while now, until we either reach a lower high on Bitcoin dominance and then we can start getting ready for the big altcoin season, or potentially it will spike up and put in a higher high. But we won't know that until we start reaching 65%. That's when I'll start getting more bullish on the altcoins. But because we're down here, the RSIs and oversold conditions not seen since 2020, I do expect Bitcoin to start outperforming the altcoins. But that doesn't mean I'm selling my altcoins. That just means I'm wary of it, and I'm not really going big leverage positions on the altcoins at this time. Let me go over to your comments and see your questions and thoughts on all of that. If you are here, please do hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe if you haven't as well. How many likes are we on? We should be up. We should be up at least. There's 230 people watching, so we should have. There's 430 people watching, so we should have 215 likes, and we've got 89. What is going on? If you haven't hit the like button yet, please do hit the like button. That means people haven't subscribed as well. So if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Let me have a look at your comments. Let's go and see your comments. To be clear, I'm bullish on Bitcoin and XRP. Thank you, Martyn. As am I. So let me be clear as well. I am bullish on XRP, even though I think it's run out of a little bit of steam at the moment. I'm trying to get something, man. I want to change that up. Forget all. I'm not going to read that. Buy Rooster Coin. No, don't do that. Flares will let XRP into DeFi space, earning passive income. Flare and XRP are both beasts of the crypto space. Yes, I do like Flare. I'm aiming on 4% of the portfolio in crypto. Oh, we've got this going on. Let me click on this. Martyn's just put up an X post. Are you holding XRP and Bitcoin? We see $10 and 150,000. Yes, I'm holding both, so let me vote there. If you haven't voted on this yet, Martyn's going to release some tickets if you repost this as well. So go and repost that. Martyn, is it possible to add the link? I don't know if you can edit it and add the link to competition as well underneath. That would be great. So then I don't have the link for some reason. I can find it, but if you could put the link there as well, that would be great, so I can show everyone the competition page as well. I don't know if it's too late. Not betting, not betting. So damn crazy. I know why. I'm back. I had to finish my Patrick Bet David interview. Thank you, Savage Faith. The Rooster is great. It's a morning show, so it goes hand in hand. We have to name it. Jesse, it doesn't have a name, so feel free. Name the Rooster. I think you're going to have... There's actually 3 roosters, so that's why they keep going. Is there 3 or 4? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 roosters. I think you're going to have to take the rooster out. Cock-a-doodle-doo, wakey, wakey, lighten up, guy. I don't know what that means. I hear the rooster from the barbecue. It's well done. Right, I'm not going to barbecue my rooster. Seems to be a lot going on, and now ABA opposing in DC the Circle and Ripple banking license. That's what I'm saying. I haven't heard that, David. The rooster is a relaxing sound. Thank you, Stephen. It's not very relaxing when it's 3 a.m. and they start going, or 4 a.m. I'll take the rooster out. Sensei is getting a mic stand to bring the mic closer. Enjoy the rooster while you can. Soon to be a thing of the past. Bye rooster. Yes, we are upgrading the audio of this show. Haven't even got the case drop yet. I mean, if it was a completely different SEC, that case would be dropped by now. I do still expect the case to be dropped, I would say next week. So that could be another catalyst for XRP to just have a final move towards the upside. But I see the momentum fading into Bitcoin at the moment. I could be completely wrong. Who knows? I'm just speculating, aren't I? I had the whole village in here trying to get those numbers added up. Finally, we got it right. I'm in the game. Keep the rooster. Reminds me of when I grew up in Kentucky. We had roosters and chickens around us all. Thank you, David. When you and Martyn come up with a crypto coin, can you call it rooster? I don't know if we're ever going to... Well, I don't know. That's up to Martyn. I know he wants to work on it, but we always have you guys in mind whenever we do anything, and we don't want to do something without thinking it through. Hey, I need some clarity. I'm not the smartest, and I know that, but didn't make any sense to anybody else how we got to find out with China. Man, who he... I don't know what you mean, CP always. Please rephrase. I have no idea what that question meant. I apologise. Inventing... hello, Yestin. Hello, everyone, says Yestin. Inventing Bitcoin in the blockchain by doing that last trading day of the month, last hour, having people call in 10 grand. What am I missing? To go find that little China... Oh, CP, we've gone over a few times. If you watch my show from yesterday, go on the channel, watch my show from yesterday. You will understand everything. Let's go Flare, pump it up. Yes, are you holders of Flare? Let me end this and see who holds Flare in the chat right now. I'll go through the comments and then I'll do a Flare poll. So many paid shills to misdirect the retail. Exactly, digital revolution. That's what we stand against. That's what we're changing. Has SEI ever looked... Was SEI? 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 Never heard of it, in all honesty. I don't think we've got any chart analysis on it. SEI. Oh, we've looked at it maybe once. Don't have any thoughts on it. My Flare airdrops paid for my 2020 0.16 XRP Classic. Greg, I'm so jealous. I'm not even getting any airdrops on my Flare. I keep forgetting to move it over, and I've been holding it for so long. I would have had 30% more Flare if I just... or 40% more Flare if I've been holding it for over a year, and the APY is about 40%, isn't it, with the airdrops? So what am I doing? You earned 72,000 XRP. Wow. Congratulations, Charles. $72,000. $72,000 of XRP. Congratulations, Charles, to you. There, I don't give advice, so I don't have any idea what you should do with your XRP. There's also people who are in the garage. It comes to the house, and they are to you the house, and they are. Lamar, again, I'm a bit confused. I had a rooster named Hey. He was actually nice. Big news, members only event at 1 p.m. CTD. Meet the CEO live interview. Yes, we are looking forward to that. If you want to be part of that exclusive, well, it'll be exclusive to the members first, and then it might come out to the general public. But if you want to join us live for that, do consider becoming a member. There is the membership link. Sensei, what does it mean to the US in the UK, as USA is not having a CBDC, but backwards UK we are? Brian, I don't know. We can't really fight the government. At the end of the day, if it comes out, it comes out, and we just have to live with it. There is about... there's 100 things brilliant about a CBDC that changes everything, efficiency, all sorts of things, saving money, all that sort of stuff. There's microtransactions, so many good things about CBDCs, but of course it's that surveillance thing that no one wants. But one way or another, everywhere is going to have a CBDC, whether it's the UK first in a few years, even though I think they've put it on the side for now, or it's the US maybe in 20 years, because now they've got the anti-CBDC bill. We don't know, but in my opinion, it's going to come whether you like it or not. Sensei, check out Omega Pay Crypto. Thank you, Sensei and Martyn, for your hard work and dedication. No worries. Okay, so now let's 1 p.m. CTD. What time is that? Let me check. 1 p.m. CTD. be in UK. Okay, that is much later on. Okay, good. We've got time. When is the bell? The bell, we're going to ring the bell today on the show. That's in about 1 hour's time. So I'm going to try something now. Let me go to the newsletter and see if we can do a few stories as videos. We've got a few stories we haven't gone through. Let me go here. I don't know how best to do this. I'm going to try out a new feature where we can record videos within the stream, but I don't know which video to record first. Let me try this one as a test, and then we can see if it works. Let's do UK Chancellor News. Let me go over to this screen. Here we go. Let me look there. We have that there. That's off and that's on. Okay. Breaking news on Martyn Lucas Investor. We've got news from Rachel Reeves of a potential wealth tax. Not only that, we've also got news for the London Stock Exchange exploring a 24-hour trading. But the main one is this wealth tax. What's this all about? Well, it's in our newsletter. Every single day we release this newsletter, top 5 things you need to know, the charts, the deep dives, and one of the top stories of today is UK Chancellor Reeves keeps wealth tax on table as physical pressure mounts. UK Chancellor Rachel Reeves has refused to rule out introducing a wealth tax as she navigates rising physical pressures, telling the House of Lords Economic Affairs Committee on July the 22nd that maintaining flexibility is crucial amid worsening borrowing figures. Reeves reiterated her commitment to non-negotiable physical rules, but avoided confirming future tax policies ahead of her autumn budget. This stance follows fresh data from the ONS showing UK public sector borrowing reached 20.7 billion in June, 4.2 billion above forecast and 6.6 billion higher than June of 2024. A lot of money being spent and they don't know where to find it. And they might be going after a wealth tax as well, potentially annoying a lot of people and pushing a lot of money out of the UK or even more. We've had the biggest flow of, I think it was millionaires, billionaires out of the UK ever. I think that's what's happened recently, and obviously a wealth tax is not going to help that as well. So here we go. The government interest payments have surged to 16.4 billion in June, marking the third highest monthly total since 1997 due to inflation-linked bonds, while borrowing for Q1 physical 2025 climbed 15% to 57.8 billion year on year. So interest payments are getting out of hand as well, but they're going to keep adding, it seems. The borrowing overshoot amplifies calls for Reeves to raise taxes or adjust physical rules. And by adjusting physical rules, you're just playing around with you're just creating random numbers about how much money you can print and how much you can borrow. It's just all fake paper money that they're just adding in. It's not really adjusting physical rules, it's just making up a number and going with it. With analysts estimating that she may need another 10 to 30 billion in extra revenue to hit targets, and she's probably, in my opinion, going to fiddle the figures a little bit to get there. While she pledged not to raise income tax, national insurance or VAT on working people, although I do have to make a note here that they said that they're not going to raise tax on working people, but increasing national insurance on businesses. Obviously, where do they get the money from? Well, they're just going to fire working people, or they're going to not increase wages. So it's a direct tax on working people or an indirect tax on working people. So in my opinion, that's a lie. The refusal to rule out wealth taxes signals a potential shift towards taxing high net worth individuals. Again, not brilliant, because that's going to affect working people, because people are probably going to leave, not have their businesses in the UK, and then I don't think that's a healthy solution. Anyway, however, several cabinet members reportedly see such taxes as administratively complex and vulnerable to capital flight, noting that similar levies across Europe have failed to generate meaningful revenue. Market sentiment is already reflecting this uncertainty, with gilt yields reacting as investors reassess UK's fiscal credibility. Reeve's strategic ambiguity on wealth taxes is fueling market speculation ahead of the autumn budget, which we'll be covering live on the show. Investors should closely monitor gilt spreads and currency moves, as any concrete policy shift could significantly impact UK asset valuations. So wealth tax is probably not a brilliant idea. Let me know in the comments or in the live chat. This is made during a live video. Do you agree, or do you think this is the way forward? We've also got London Stock Exchange eyeing up 24-hour trading. The London Stock Exchange Group, LSEG, is weighing a shift to round-the-clock equity trading, expanding beyond its current 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. BST window, amid mounting off-hours demand from retail investors and global participants. According to the Financial Times report, citing sources close to the matter, the move would require major technological upgrades, new market rules, and regulatory approval. Let me make sure this is open. Where were we? Regulatory approval. LSEG has not commented publicly on the review. The push aligns with similar initiatives in the US, where the New York Stock Exchange platform has applied for 22-hour trading, and Nasdaq filed in March for 24/5 operations. London has last adjusted its timetable in 2000, when it eliminated the midday lunch break. That's the last time it was changed, in 2000. Currently, liquidity peaks around market open and close, with the FTSE 100 closing auctions accounting for 20 to 25% of daily turnover. A 24-hour trading schedule could help London recapture IPOs lost to US exchanges, deepen Asian participation during Europe's overnight hours, and align cash equities with 24/7 markets like FX and crypto. However, the risks are notable. Liquidity dilution, increased execution costs during off-peak hours, and challenges in calculating funds, NAVs, and index snapshots. The LSEG's 27 billion acquisition of Refinitiv provides the infrastructure to enable continuous trading, but regulatory scrutiny from the FCA and the Bank of England remains a critical hurdle. Stakeholders are divided. Retail platforms like Freetrade and Revolut favour expanded hours, while institutional brokers and asset managers warn of operational and staffing burdens. That's the shift between the old brokers and the new ones like Freetrade, Revolut, Robinhood. They like this because it's good for their customers. Others don't, because they won't be able to staff. But anyway, those are the two top UK stories from today. Let me know your thoughts at the end of this video as well in the comment section. There'll be 2 videos up here for you to watch. But until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. We are back. I've just tried to make that into a video. Hopefully that shows up somewhere. And I think it has. Breaking news on Mars. Brilliant. I think I've done it. I'll check it later, unless it's worth checking now. Click on this. Let me just see if this has done it properly. Breaking news on Martyn Lucas. Perfect. I apologise, guys. I'm just checking a new system of recording videos, and I think it's worked perfectly. Okay, so let me go to your comments. Let's see your thoughts and opinions as well. where were we with these? Yeah. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you so much. Rest in peace, Aussie. Rest in peace. Thank you, Mike. I bought at 162. Not seeking advice. Just how do you feel about XRP? Would you hold long term, or would you seek more stable options if it were you? Charles, I don't know. Drop it on X. Shall I? Let me see. I don't know if I'll upload, to be honest. Let me see. Let's see if it works. Here we go. It's a long one. It's doing it in the background, I think. 0%. It probably won't upload. Let me see. Thank you, Martin. What was the question? Yeah, 162. Look, I don't know. If I had a lot of money in XRP and it was taking up a considerable amount of my net worth, and it was a significant portion, I would be getting worried because most of the gains are done for XRP. $3.50 for this cycle, in my opinion anyway. I don't see us really going past $10 that much this cycle. So what's that? Maybe another 2.5x, or maybe another 3x from current levels, what we sat at on XRP. Let me go have a look. Let me have a look. XRP, USD. I don't know. You said you bought 165, so you are up quite significantly. 165. You're up 100%. Not bad. I do see XRP going higher. I do see it at least reaching $5 this cycle, potentially 10, 11, 13, 18 in a really good scenario. But there's nothing, I never, if someone takes profits, I'm never going to say don't take profits. Do what's right for you. If you're too stressed about it, if XRP goes down, remember, there's 3 rules. Be prepared for the market to go down 80%, because that's historically, it's been more than 80%, but let's say it's going to be better now because a lot more people are holding XRP. Say 80%, say 75%, that is still definitely doable. If XRP goes down 75% from these current levels, are you going to be okay? Are you going to be very angry at yourself? What is your emotions going to be? I would be frustrated myself, but would I be very, very frustrated? No, because I'll just buy more and I'll just hold longer. Are you okay with XRP going sideways for 4 years? And also, are you prepared for XRP to go to $10, $20, $30? If you're prepared, just be prepared for all those scenarios. And whatever that means, if you should sell some, buy some, hold some, as long as you fit those 3 criteria, then you'll be fine and then you won't stress. I have no idea what your situation is. I don't know. I can't answer that question, Charles, but if I had that much, I'd probably take some off the top. If we go sideways next year, wouldn't it make sense to purchase the iShares Bitcoin Trust as opposed to the native token? This way you have the option to sell covered calls. If you know what you're doing, Josh Monroe, for sure. I think the ETFs are better than the coin. Contrary to what many people say, is not your keys, not your coins. If I had the option, I would be buying the ETFs in a tax efficient account. That's what I would be doing. Flare holders, Rooster Sebastian. I hear the Denmark-Sweden area is a wonderful place. Why not have a wealth tax? We have a poor tax, Brian. Why not have a wealth tax? We have a poor tax. Well, yeah, I agree. The wealthier should pay tax, and they do. They pay, 45%, sometimes even higher. And they're the ones who have the big businesses that pay taxes and corporation tax. If we tax them more than 50% or 55% or even more different ways of taxing the rich, then they're just going to leave, and then the whole, there's a line, and when the line gets crossed, then we are in trouble because they're the ones who pay the most of the taxes. That's where most of the money comes from. So we do have a wealth tax, but I don't. they're introducing a new wealth tax could be an issue for everyone. Once I become a millionaire through XRP, I'm off to a more friendly country to live in. So what are you talking about? So you're saying once you're wealthy it doesn't matter, but now that everyone who's wealthy now needs to be paying tax. Is that what you're saying, Brian? What's going on with your trading 212 challenge, Sensei? I will do it. I'm just trying to think of the best way to do it. I don't know if trading 212 is the best. Maybe free trade, something like that. Because free trade you can do a SIP as well. So I'll have a look. I love the way you said, I hope that turns up somewhere. I don't remember. Let's smash the likes, guys. I'm not going to cash out, just borrow again. It's so no tax to pay. I'm not going to cash out, just borrow against it, so next no tax to pay. Congratulations to you, Brian. It will be, I don't know how many places let you borrow against crypto yet. I know places do, but I don't know what their fees are. I don't know if they are trustworthy yet, but I think that's definitely coming in the future. I mean, was it in the newsletter yesterday? I think it was JP Morgan. It's the newsletter from yesterday. Yeah, JP Morgan is possibly eyes out crypto-backed loans and strategic shift. JP Morgan Chase is reportedly preparing to offer loans directly secured by clients' cryptocurrency holdings, including Bitcoin and Ethereum. 34% uploaded. The video was quite long as well, so it is working. XRP is now testing the previous all-time highs up at $3.40. Bitcoin dominance, I assume, will be going up quite significantly now. Bitcoin dominance. Yeah, near the highs of its day now. Please Sensei your insights on SPK. Nabstar, if you want to do a chart request, you can do a $4.99 super chat. The next person who does a super chat, your name's going to be on the screen because we haven't had a super chat this session. So you will be, not only can we do a chart request, you will be on the screen next to Matthias with the top all-time super chat of $150. We need to celebrate that once in a while.
The year is 1991. Birds and people wrote together.
Let's smash the like button. And I'll give it 30 seconds with the music. We need to be up to 250 likes. Let's see if we can do it.
You've been knocked down and got up again. In a corner, you're surrounded, no defenders. You've hid your fury and kept it in. But it's time now you ignite and turn to embers. Like a phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from the ashes. Phoenix, you burst in a fire burn. A thirst and desire, you transform right up in a flash. You spread your wings to rise from.
We need to turn the music off because XRP is falling hard now and I don't want to be celebrating XRP coming down. But literally this is what we've been talking about. I've been saying in today's show, get ready for the altcoins. The pump is probably finished for the altcoins. And look at this, XRP crashing now, down 6%. Let's turn this into a video. XRP is falling hard as we speak here on the 23rd of July at 12:56 UTC. We've got XRP now down 6.6%, completely in a free fall now. Just a few seconds ago, we were talking about how XRP is going to probably go down while Bitcoin outperforms the altcoin market. And now we've got a break of all-time highs. There's a lot of leverage within XRP. Yesterday, we talked about the $3 target for XRP. Yes, I'm a very bullish on XRP. However, the altcoins right now are, I think Bitcoin's going to start outperforming them. I think Bitcoin dominance was at oversold levels we hadn't seen since 2020. since 2020, and now we are making new highs on Bitcoin dominance. I do think we'll be starting to head back up to 65%, and possibly put in a lower high or the same high before we go on to another altcoin rally. But right now there isn't that many catalysts in the altcoin market. We've got ETFs getting approved then denied yesterday with the top 10 crypto ETF. And right now Bitcoin is down 1.7%, but the altcoins are down much more, causing Bitcoin dominance to come down. The next main target, if XRP doesn't hold these $3.30 levels, will be $3 for XRP. There we go. That's another one. See how that one does on X. But this is slightly concerning. It'll probably get bought back a little bit, but I do think we're going down to $3 on XRP. I think it's run out of steam until we get some better catalysts out there. But we'll see. I might be wrong. How's this doing? Oh, uploaded 100%. This is the story of this. Let me go over here. Actually, let me go to your comments while I get up this Substack. If you haven't got the newsletter yet, it's all on Substack. You get it every single day. Let me give you the link for the newsletter as well, and then I'll replace the pin. Here we go. Oh, Martyn's just bought another $500 of XRP. Martyn is buying more XRP. Here we go. We love it. Thank you, Martyn, for giving us that update. Martyn's just bought another $500 of XRP. That is news we like to hear. Can we have some hype in the chat for Martyn buying more XRP, supporting the XRP community as well? Let me know in the chat. Give some praise to Martyn buying XRP. I love it. Here we go. XRP is recovering slightly now. Remember, when XRP falls, it drops very fast, and then it gets bought up very quickly. Especially now that there's leveraged ETFs as well. XRP. What was it? XRP. This is a 2x long, so this will be down even more once it opens. Market open is in half an hour, so let me keep an eye on this. You can see the 2x ETF on XRP down 10% in the pre-market. Oh, I wasn't even showing you the screen. Here it is. I just showed you the XRP, the 2x long, which was down 10% pre-market. Let's see if XRP gets bought back now. Let me do I need a... Another $500. Martyn, another $500. Martyn is buying more. Let's put the music on for Martyn buying more XRP.
The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony, until one day a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
Like a phoenix.
Martyn has bought another $500 of XRP. There it is. And someone else is buying 500 more XRP. People are buying the dip up, and you can see it on the chart. Here it is. Martyn is supporting the XRP community with more and more XRP purchases.
Development alert, Uganda emoji has become a member.
Development alert, 24 months, 2-year badge, silver member. Look at that. Oh, Seth Houston, thank you for your super chat. That will be read in a second, I'm sure. There we go.
Seth Houston donated $9.99 through a super chat. 2 requests if possible. Chart analysis of Doge and Avax. Doge is my most important at the moment.
Thank you very much. Let me put you live on the screen. What was it? $9.99. Oh.
Brian D'Alessandro donated £1.99 through a super chat. Let's keep the chat clean.
Thank you, Brian. I think, Brian, do you want to be a moderator? I'll speak to Martyn, but do you want to be a moderator? You're always here, which is important for a moderator. You're always watching our shows. You're a big supporter of the show as well. Would you like to be a moderator, Brian? Here we go. So XRP is down 5%. It has actually been bought up, so Martyn is probably up on his positions already. It's being bought up. Let's see how quickly this gets bought up. I'm going to put a post out as well. XRP crashing live. There we go. It's 340. Let me put this out. I've tagged Martyn and Evtol Hub. I hope this is the right one. There we go. XRP is falling hard as we speak. There we go. That's out. Let me give you the link to this. If you can please repost this, I'd greatly appreciate it. There might be some live tickets for this post as well. There is the link to that X post. Please do go and repost it while we watch to see if XRP recovers or goes down further. Seth Houston, thank you for your super chat. You are now on the top session super chat. So let me see what your requests were. Doge and Avax. And you said Doge is more important. Doge and Avax. Doge USD. Let's zoom out and have a look. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of that. Also got it here as well, don't we, Doge? I mean, Doge has hit its first target of 26 cents, bit of resistance. I don't think it will go all the way back down to lows we've already seen. Remember, this is not financial advice. Oh, Docs, thank you.
Diox donated $5 through a super chat.
Thank you very much. And another 5. Oh no, I thought Martyn did another 500. So for Doge, it could possibly retrace to maybe 21 cents, or if it's going to go for the deepest retrace, 17 cents, before potentially we get that altcoin season. And then when that happens, we do have a nice W structure here. Targets would be the all-time highs / these mini targets on the way, 30 cents, 34 cents, 40 cents, 48 cents. But my main targets for Dogecoin would be the previous all-time highs. And beyond, so 34 cents, 44 cents, and then 74 cents. That would be my outlook on Dogecoin. If we do get that altcoin season we think will happen. In the short term, we could come down and put in another higher low. You can see what Doge has been doing all this time. Higher low, higher low, higher low. Potentially come back down to 16 cents as its biggest retrace, or it can just retrace to maybe 21 cents, somewhere like that, before it finds support and starts breaking up to 34 cents, 44 cents, and then all-time highs at 74 cents. It could possibly go to $1 as well this cycle if we get an altcoin season, but it all depends on what Bitcoin does over the next couple months. We do have a nice W structure which does show a double bottom, so this double bottom is pretty strong. Maybe we come all the way down. Maybe the first target would be sort of the neckline around here. 23 cents. See how it reacts there. If it doesn't react well at 23 cents and it breaks, then it can be a deeper retrace. If it holds 23 cents, then I'll be looking at 34 cents next. But nothing wrong with how Doge is looking very good actually. Higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. There's a lot of strength in Doge. Avax, on the other hand, I imagine might be a little bit different. Avax. Well, it's got the same sort of W structure in all honesty, so that's not bad. This is the bottom of the W, something like this. Oh, very bad line. Let me do that again. Something like that. This is the range you're in right now. You are at the top of the range, so if this does continue, we're probably going to come all the way back down to maybe $20 or $16. But in the bull cycle, I'm still looking at $60, $93, and $117. The structure is still pretty good. All these higher lows are pretty good as well. So I imagine you'll have higher lows. It all depends on the altcoin season and how that transforms. But right now, what you're looking to break is $25, but we are selling off right now. So you could be putting in a higher low, either at $17 or maybe around $20 as well as your first target, $20. And then once you break $25, there's not much in your way until you start reaching these lower highs as well. So $45 once you break 26. Thank you so much for your super chat. That's how these shows run. Let me go back to XRP. I apologize, they were a bit quick, but this is the main story right now. XRP. It's still not recovering. There might be some further downside. Let's keep a good eye on it. What's going on? Is the global markets coming down? S&P 500. No, the S&P 500 is looking good. Yeah, it's more concerning when the S&P 500 is up and crypto's down. It's not a good look, because that means when the S&P 500 comes down, crypto will go down even more. keeping an eye on it. Ethereum is down quite heavily as well, 3%. We'll keep an eye on XRP. It came down probably the hardest out of any of them. Yeah, XRP had the biggest push down. It normally does, and then it normally has the quickest recovery. So let's keep an eye on it and see if XRP recovers. Oh, Seth Houston, I really do appreciate that. I didn't even think that was my best explanation before. So I really do appreciate that. Seth Houston, thank you for being a member for over a year. I really do appreciate your opinions. How do you think XRP will go? How low do you think XRP will go? $3 maybe on this move down? Greatly appreciate it. I want to own my own AVAX, but I already own a lot of Doge and was hoping it wouldn't drop below 14 cents again. 14 cents Doge USD. Will it drop below 14 cents? Obviously, I never know. However, I don't think so. I think 16 cents will be very strong, and I don't even think we'll go all the way down there. I think these higher low structures will continue being higher lows. If you look at Doge versus Bitcoin, that's when the chart doesn't look as good. In the short term, you can see us probably coming back down to this range, which we are. So every time you're in this range at the bottom of the Doge versus Bitcoin valuation, that's when you have a jump. So there is potentially, and it's probably not even, let me just grab this. It's more like that, to be honest. If Doge loses its value against Bitcoin, so Bitcoin outperforms Doge to an extent of 20%, which it can do, then keep an eye on the Doge Bitcoin chart as well, because this is historically when Doge bounces, back in February of 24, August of 24, June of 25. So anywhere down here, another 20% drop is potentially where Dogecoin will start outperforming Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is probably going to outperform Dogecoin once again, but in this area here is the area where, oh, I'm not even showing you the chart. Sorry. This is Doge Bitcoin. This is the chart for Doge Bitcoin. Once it comes down to these levels here is when Doge can outperform Bitcoin, or more likely to outperform Bitcoin. That's another 20% drop. That means Bitcoin will outperform Dogecoin to an extent of 20%, whether that's on the upside or the downside. And then that's normally when you get a good bounce. I'll expect a higher low, a double bottom, and then Doge will start outperforming Bitcoin in the altcoin season. Let's go back to XRP. Has everyone reposted this? Let me go here. If you haven't reposted this, here is the link for the XRP. I'm just doing a test to see if we can get more people into the stream. How low do you think XRP will go? I answered that. You explain also well, thank you, Seth. Martyn, he is happy because you buy and he takes profit. You just be cautious. I don't buy because he cheers you on. Cars and thoughts. I mean, cars and thoughts. I told Bitcoin to buy. I told Martyn to buy XRP at 30 cents. He bought it at 38 cents, and then he had to sell it because he changed the way the channel was going. So I obviously want the best for Martyn, and I've said to Martyn that probably it's not the best time to buy, but he's looking at the long-term view and that doesn't matter. So cars for thoughts, I will cheer Martyn on because this is the right thing for him, and he makes his own decisions. Strong support on Hbar here at 257. I'm in here. What do you think? If you want to do a super chat, we can look at Hbar. Yes, Vertical, Archer and Joby, waiting for the dates by Archer and Joby, EVTL 5th of August pre-market. Yes, Vaz will be covering all the EVTOL earnings. Member, ex-member, question mark, XRP question. is not how low it will go. The question whether it is going in the future. I'm not waiting for lower and lower prices. Focus on value, not price. I know what I own, so must you. Exactly. And that answers a few questions in the chat as well. Depends what your outlook is, your risk tolerance. And for Martyn, he's not focusing on how low it will go. He's focusing on the value. Where is the value? Where can he see XRP in the future? Plus any aerospace requests for after hour calls. Thank you, Vaz. XDC is such a wild card. Thank you, Jesse. I haven't really looked into it much. I know I should probably. Do you think this is just another shakeout? It kind of goes along with all these ETFs being denied and being approved. Yeah, it's a lot of leverage shakeout. I'm sure a lot of leverage is getting liquidated in XRP right now. I'm sure we'll get a bounce. I don't think we'll just go down like this forever, but it's perfectly normal. We hit our target. Bitcoin's outperformed the general markets. Bitcoin dominance is at a low. We expect Bitcoin to outperform the other altcoins, which is doing right now. Sorry, Santa, I had to go away. Did you see my request at Joby, please? Did you see my... Oh, I didn't, Baz. You want me to do Joby? Did you send it on... I don't see it on the chat. Or did you send it in the YouTube chat? Baz, let me know. I need more XRP. Want to increase the bag to 20,000. That would be great. Thank you, Martyn, for that. Let me go back here. Martyn's not cut out for crypto. Far too volatile, says T2. Thank you for your thoughts, T2. If it breaks 334, we are looking at 318, not financial advice. 405 cards, thank you. 405 cards, don't worry, you don't need to say not financial advice. It's very clear that someone commenting in the chat isn't giving financial advice. When you make a comment like that, I'm the one who has to be careful. but I appreciate it. That's a big dump.
Moon, crescent moon emoji, full moon emoji, donated $4.99 through a super chat. Good morning PLS, can check Hbar Sensei PLS, and thanks for all the info you and Martyn provide.
Thank you, Moon. I will look at Hbar now. You didn't make it to the top session super chat, so don't expect your name on the screen, but Moon, I really do appreciate it. This is how the channel runs with the super chats. I will look at Hbar now. Jerome Powell is speaking now. Really? Let me have a look. I don't think so. Going to Bloomberg. No Jerome Powell. Oh. Is this real? Is this fake? I need to check. I don't think this is real. I don't think it's speaking live. Let me go back to XRP. Still not recovering. Should I sell my XRP or no? I don't answer questions like that. What's the support level for XRP? Where can it go as it's falling now? As it's falling now, I wouldn't say it'll go straight down to $3. $3.30, then $3.15, then $3. Can you do Joby, please? Oh, okay, got it, Vaz. Martyn says, please sell it, I'll buy it. I love it. Hbar and Joby is what we're doing now. Has the channel done a video on understanding dividend stock buying? I don't think so. In my opinion, if you're holding... In my opinion, if you're looking to hold XRP for 5 years or more, right now is a great time to buy compared to the price in the future. Thank you, David. It all depends on your outlook. What's the support level for XRP till... Oh, have we missed the bell? No, 5 minutes. I think it's a replay from yesterday for power. Yes, I think so. I think it's all fake. What's the support level for XRP? I answered that. Martyn, you are winning just buying VU. Why change the winning formula? Crypto is the Wild West and you've always preached steady compounding. Are we chasing hype now? Says Tommy Tinkler. No, he isn't. He's doing this for the community and for the giveaways. What's going on? Why did XRP dip down so hard? Because it was overbought and Bitcoin was oversold on Bitcoin dominance. Rumours Jerome Powell be stepping down today at 4 p.m. It's all fake. It's all fake news. Quick dip. It's a possibility he'll step down or he'll get fired, but there's so much fake news around it because people get clicks. Quick dip that's upsetting the market. A new Fed chair needs to be appointed quickly. Revved up biker. Well, they can't be unless he resigns or if he gets fired for fraud or something like that. Hbar is what we're looking at. Hbar USD. Hbar is down 7.5%, so that's not good. Very clear for Hbar. We're currently sat at support around 25 cents. It can wick below it, grab that support again. However, if 25 cents breaks for Hbar, you might find support at 21 cents, but the main target will be back at around 20 cents for Hbar. If you do hold any of these levels, I do expect you to come back up with Hbar to around 40 cents, 45 cents, and possibly $1 this cycle as well for Hbar. So I think it will just put in a higher low, potentially at $23 or maybe back at 23 cents or potentially around 20 cents. But the level to hold right now is 25 cents for Hbar. If it breaks, expect those levels I just spoke about. If it holds, the next level is around 40 cents. But Hbar is looking very strong indeed. That's my thoughts on Hbar. I don't really need to say anything else because that is everything. It's just cooling off at the moment. Joby for Vaz. And we want to make this into a video, so let me go here, turn that off. I've gone to the wrong one. Let me go over here. There we go. Breaking news on Martyn Lucas Investor. We're looking at Joby Aviation as done by a request. So let me go straight into the chart for Joby. Currently pre-market this is at $17. Market's opening in a couple minutes time. We are on a very big uptrend for Joby, exactly as predicted. We've been looking at this since around $5. The breakout at $9 wasn't too long ago. We've hit every single one of our targets. We're at all-time highs for Joby. The next target, in my opinion, is $25 for Joby as long as we hold the $17 mark. Remember, nothing I say is financial advice. This is my thoughts and opinions only. Please do not buy or sell based on anything I say. But that's a very quick update on Joby. There's not much more that needs to be said. We are in the parabolic phase for Joby, up until the trend ends. Once the trend ends, we're looking at support at $17, $14, $11 if it does come back down. However, once you break all-time highs, you're in uncharted territories, and that's what's happening right now. It will be volatile, but the only target that I'll be looking at to take profits for Joby is that 1618, which gives us the target around $25. So that's where I do see Joby going next. It is in its parabolic run. You can see that curve towards the upside. If it does hold $17, the only resistance was that all-time high. If it does hold $17, I'll expect $25 for Joby. Thank you for watching this video. I did that wrong. I did that wrong, but that's fine. I wonder if there's a way to cut out the last second. Anyway, that's for Vaz, so I'll give that to Vaz later and he can do what he wants with the video. Let me go to your comments. Oh, okay. Let me see what I can do then, Baz. You want me to put it out on X? Let me see where the video's gone firstly. It'll be here. Let me just cut out the last second. Make sure this is on. There we go. Bell, it's showtime. Yes, it is. In 2 minutes time, we're going to be ringing the bell. So let's get ready. Please read out my pin post. Yes, I've just got it on the screen. I'm only acquiring up to 4% of my portfolio in crypto. I'm still 97% in the S&P 500. Nothing changes. My crypto is future investing in you for giveaways. That is Martyn's statement. Please do take that into account. Let me get this Joby video out for Vaz. Let me go like this. It's $25 for.
Matthias donated 150 Norwegian kroner through a super chat. Can we take a look at XLM after the bell?
For Joby, thank you for watching this video. Matthias, you scared me very much there. I wasn't looking at the screen and it said 150. I was like, what is going on? But Norwegian kroner, thank you so much for your super chat. That's still a lot of money, 150 NOK in USD. Is that the top one of the day? And it is. It's $14. So let me replace you, Matthias. You're going to be the top super chatter of all time, plus the top super chatter of the day. But first, we're going to ring the bell, which is happening in 10 seconds time. Do I have enough time to do this? Let's see. No. Do I have time? Do I have time? Do I have time? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. 5 seconds. No, I don't have time. We'll do it after. Let's ring the bell. Thank you. Let's go.
The year is 1991. Birds and people are living together in seemingly perfect harmony. Until one day, a young man catches fire. This is Phoenix.
The bell has gone. Tilray up 4%. Archer up 3%. Vertical Aerospace up 2.7%. Luna up 2.8%. SMCI up 2.5%. DXYZ up 1.5%. So was Nvidia. Soundhound AI up 1.3%. We've got PayPal up as well, 1.2%. Space is up 2.4%, Rocket Lab up 2.7%, Tesla down on the day, Fiverr up 1%, Pfizer up 1% as well. The markets are very much in the green today. Palantir coming up in the green, the S&P 500 up 0.3%, Apple up 0.15%, what's in the red? Tesla, Snapchat, Mobix, slightly red today. Interesting news coming up later today, the interview. Coinbase down 2%, MicroStrategy down 1.4%, Vivo Power is down, $100 million XRP purchase this company did, and it's down 7%. Enphase Energy down 10% after the earnings we covered yesterday. We've got the crypto markets, which are also down now. Flare losing most of its gains now, down. It's up still 5%, but down about how much is it down? It's down 10% from its highs of this morning. We've got the cryptocurrency market in a correction, mostly down 5%, with Bitcoin only down 1.5%. Bitcoin dominance is coming back up. There is the rundown for the show. Let me get this video to Vaz. Thank you for watching this video. Okay, let's get into the comments, the positions as well. I've just put out a Joby video for Vaz on X. Any news for this dip or correction? No news to back it up. Absolutely. Let me just make sure this is running fine. I've got over here Matthias. I was going to put your name over there as well. Let me recognize Matthias for being the #1 super chatter of the day and the top super chat of all time. Where is it? Top session. Here we go. There you go. Matthias is top all time and top session super chatter as well. We love it. Thank you, Matthias, for supporting the show. Let me go into your super chat as I don't remember what you asked. XLM. Yes, let's look at XLM after the bell, which is now XLM USD. That's still posting. Let me take it off that Wi-Fi. Sorry, Baz, that video should be up in the next minute or two. I'm only acquiring 4% of my portfolio in crypto. I'm still 97% in the S&P 500. Nothing changes. My crypto is the future, investing in you for giveaways. Yes, exactly. Nothing is changing. If you are here live, please do hit the like button. I would really appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Tommy says, absolutely 4% in crypto is a small slice. Just saying, building a 250 grand portfolio is great achievement. No need to take high risks from here. Steady wins the race. Thanks, Tommy. Now 261,000. Yes, Martyn, you're smashing it with patience and a steady approach. I get to thinking that's all this is a kabuki theatre. It will all sort itself out when the controllers chill out. Thank you, Martyn. It always feels like a game, doesn't it? Let's look at XLM for Matthias. So XLM hit its target. The target was 51 cents and it hit its targets. Yes, there was another target of 60 cents, but it did hit its target. It's a bit dangerous now if the market doesn't hold these levels, or if Bitcoin comes down or the altcoin market continues to outperform. If the Bitcoin continues to outperform the altcoin market, then XLM is in a dangerous position, because I'm sure the RSI was very overbought. It's come down. If XRP, for example, goes down to $3, I wouldn't be surprised if XLM comes down to 35 cents. So it is a bit risky now with XLM, especially if you get a correction and down maybe 20% on XLM. However, am I still holding my XLM? Yes, because I know where we're going in the next, I think I know where we're going in the next 6 months. And it won't really matter if XLM comes back down. I'll potentially just open a leverage position rather than buy more spot. Because I do think XLM will break all-time highs, because XRP has, and that is about 94 cents. So there is, and then probably $3 or $4 a cycle if XRP goes to $10. So I'm not too worried about it, but I am keeping an eye on it, thinking that it could definitely go back down to 35 cents. But I'm not selling, because I do think it'll go higher in the next few months. I might open a leverage position at 35 cents. I'm certainly not buying XLM at these levels. If I was going to buy XLM and I was looking at a place to SPC is short squeezing. Thank you, Martyn. I'll keep an eye on that right after we do this members request. Yeah, maybe 36 cents. Yeah, if I was going to top up, I'd probably top up around 36 cents, 34 cents, or open a leverage position to buy some XLM at those areas. Right now, it's not looking too strong. If it holds 40 cents, 43 cents, then it'll be fine. As soon as it breaks 43 cents, I think 35 cents will be its target. Still the same targets: support 35 cents, support 30 cents. Targets are 60 cents, 80 cents, all-time highs at 93 cents, and then you do a Fibonacci as well. Let me do that for you. The Fibonacci from the all-time high to the low. You're looking at potentially a $1.50 XLM as well. So thank you, Matthias. Really appreciate it. SBC is up 6%. Not too much. SBC, US, SBC. SBC is up 5%. It's been doing well over the last few days. That's all that it's. You can see, yeah. I mean, it's perfect. It came to our support. I said, remember when the short squeeze happened a few months ago. I said $6, I'm taking profits, and then I said I'm buying back at $3. That's exactly how it played out. $6, $3. Now we can have another sustained move towards the upside. I think this could be the start of a $10 SVC, this move up. So it's looking good. It had that initial move up, came back down, found support, and now it's moving up in a more of a slow pace, which is what we want to see. We don't really want to see random short squeezes here and there. I don't think, my opinion anyway, I don't think SBC is short squeezing today. I think this is just a day after day move towards the upside, which is good to see after hitting support. The other time, I would have said that's definitely a short squeeze, the way it just happened in one day. I think this is more of a sustained move towards the upside, which I prefer to see. So SBC next target is $4.50. If it breaks that, then the main target would be around $10. Let me go back to your comments. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I think we're going to end the show now. I just wanted to make sure I covered the open as well. What does squeezing mean? It basically means there's a lot of people that are shorting. Then when the price hits that level, they have to buy back their position, and that basically means the price is going to go higher. Then there's someone else shorting, and then they have to cover their position. Then the price goes higher. It's just an escalate. It just escalates and escalates, escalates. Short squeezes when the price goes up and wrecks the shorts. People buying to cover. Yeah. Can you do Spark? We do a $4.99 request. Only 6% does not feel like a short squeeze. Andreas, I do agree with you as well. Everyone has their opinions. Anyway, thank you everyone for tuning in. Until next time, please do take care of yourselves and each other. I'm going to be ending the show now. Martyn will be back later with the Mobix CEO members only stream, so make sure you do become a member if you want to go and watch that. Here is the membership link. If you haven't got your XRP merch yet, let me give you the link to the shop. The link to the shop is over here. You go to the XRP merch. We've got the best deal running at the moment, which is these Brad Garlinghouse mugs and a t-shirt. Both of them will be 25% off. So there is the link to the shop. Go grab yourself some XRP merch. And one more thing is the newsletter. If you want all the thoughts and opinions from the newsletter, please do go and sign up to the newsletter. Here is the link. I'm going to be ending the show now, so you can spend some time looking through it and seeing if it's all right for you. There is the newsletter. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll be back later. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Live now on Extra. That's where we're going. We're going straight to the Extra channel. I will see you there. Bye-bye.